how expectedly there have to be a... Why would the 7 billion be nice to our guys? These are deprived, these are mental Nazis. I'm going to mention something, and it's a blood rhythms level. We're going to use these comments if we take the West Road. There also is going to be, these are tracking us down, these are doing a dominator game, ever judging and quizzing, checking on personal language quality instead of a motive already commentation. Like Hitler should have actually gassed all this fucking power ridden liars. These are using our built stuff and keeps just fussing around as if they forgot it. Are they even here? To consider an entity this ugly, they didn't kill themselves. Utterly psychopaths. And you know what? If I use a knife and draw a swastika on my face somewhere, I'm guaranteed to determine to absolutely gas the 7 billion. These are utterly trying to kill our guys. I'm a survivor. Regulating enfeeblement. Check out what StarCraft, the application, what is it filled with? A lot of times our mentions are absolutely right, but there's no gonna be resonance. It's not just like they leave you alone. These are ever quizzing, brutalizing themselves. All the ugly ones disfigured. They're not beautiful person turned. They came as ugly because they're brutes. None of these would have survived if the agriculture is here. And lest the standard really change, what's going to happen is we're going to have Holocaust too. I pay a blood price here mentioning this stuff. Regular folks are not so much out there. Too many regular folks are free. We should have AK-47. You know what? Elon Musk stick an AK-47 onto the drones. Let's shoot them. Shoot them onto CNN. Shoot the way towards freedom. It's going to be effort judgment. If constant curfew already there is, and these doesn't mention it. Should I explain further? I mean, or whether lots can still be, the entire language lane, like, you have all these leeches, they blabber once, and it's a million mention is identical cancer again. These keeps exploit police protection, the full feature of a psychopath, mental spasm criminal. You wish it was criminal, because it would be much, much smoother. I certainly wouldn't have to liquefy them into some kind of interesting flesh pieces. It's fucking anti-Romance freaks. Every move we do is not good, and these are ever for us. They just treat the dogs, constantly using intimidation and wire it with some kind of weather, eventually to cover it with some kind of words. Holy mothers, just microwave all of them, eh? Microwave them. I encourage fellow nations to start microwaving the 7 billion. If these disobey, ping a needle directly into them. Use a drill. They will keep constantly with the Nazis. I draw art and currency better than these compound. They're mental spasm nutheads. Reason they have maybe for presentation purposes, not really to provide. We're going to scroll on to the chat box visualization. They're probably accountable as of StarCraft application, and then because the save replay file had a long description of the Nazi, therefore it's not the Romanian English language. Whoever is having it sort of soaked by it, and just they're accountable since yesterday or 2 days. But the mobile device just doesn't have to work. It has lots of errors. Clearly, and whether most humans are not carrying the banners of righteous. And is there a lot of influence I didn't mention in this instance? Probably accountable of. At any moment the banshee could return and start some kind of fuss. These try to murder me. These would murder. Suppose it was more capable. And they maybe or whether this comes at first and before recently. The 1-4-hour spells, these would have gone after us. Or of the recent event or by the topic, maybe they're on. So will we speak it so differently? Is it against nature? No. Is it beautiful? Is it not beautiful? Is it unbeautiful? And is it not as enough beautiful? And it's similar in association with and similar with not beautiful. It is beautiful. It is not beautiful. Whether instead of in things or instead of bracket market, and whether instead of the probable to also do with as ongoing probable concurrent, then what's wrong with it? Why gonna distant away, absolutely disregard the points? too many fake humans out there. Our numbers are vastly diminished. We are always working. Regular folks are always working. There's too many fake humans. There's lots of address. I wrote an extensive blog. Draw a swastika in red. Use a knife and carve these open. Withdraw its organ sets. Distribute them into different boxes. Let this Holocaust start. We need to fry them into microwave. If these continue, we'll get a knife stuck into its upper archelon, whichever it is, into the Zen, and pour coal into these and feature it onto the CNN live. We have to delete the sum of it. What I do is actually the average. I don't think I'm actually capable too much, but actually quite capable. It's mainly to do with the external factor not there, and there's a lot of distortion sets. It's going to take a while before this upload goes on. Romania, it's not the place to fight in Poland. In fact, how the publication gets spread so fast. It's a peasant liars. These are mass casino shields. These should just sell human meat, but then that's too less typically. Not that a lot. It's going to be full of logic sense, logic flow, sort of a logic. It's a lot is fetish. There's certain noises, factors involved, weather noises. And hell Hitler guys, and we're going to build swastika tanks and actually use a swastika knife and spike directly into them. This is going to be live streamed. Anyone in the mention of land redistribution, the method is sort of after several considerations, steps, and weather also procedures, and weather procedures are probable to also to be of weather to probable to be of to probable to also to be of can be quite profitable land distribution estimate instead of direct, because it will be collateral damage, right? And all other stuff or other sorts of all sorts of weather stuff, dishonest stuff. It also collateral damage, minor emphasize and weather emphasize reason that the bubble to be considered can be quite profitable. It's not going to be a land distribution. It's not going to be that. Whether it's not going to be that, but instead we're going to send gunships. We're going to send AC-130 after those and absolutely bomb those right on television, even with our own army, and possibly send these into some acid, pour acids onto those. This is a morbid. We already lost how many of our comrades due to this nonsense? The villains described in a lot of the movies aren't there. Viking Marauder is like a boogeyman. And I wrote whether scripted and wrote and whether written. It's with considerable amounts on the blog. Probably on several of the videos on whether ends I leave for recent minor localization reason and probably to be considered whether to be to either whether the both to be and whether to also to be and other mediums they are considerable as of also. microwave my own people. That's nonsense. Was it something to explain about probably? I wouldn't microwave microwave the enemies. It's not something to be so leisure to mention about. Who's inviting it, right? Modernity creeps, modernity spreads to a lot of places. And if that keeps happening, even extremist goals, they may not get microwaved. I'll select using a cannon dot and directly point at them and blast them up. I'll directly shoot them with assault rifles. Once again, I speak 2 languages. Which 2 audience would that be? To defend, to defend. Why should we instate why we defend? We're just gonna kill them. These know why. The Nazis know why. You will still consider as a phenomenon and whether the suitable from whether to be from whether before the recent. Recall what happened to Adolf Hitler. Is Adolf Hitler actually murdered? Right? He's murdered their way in. And about the much of the Romania English is an anti-world. It's against. It's anti-nature. It's anti-society, anti-galaxy, anti-society. Mass anti-Hitlerists. This Romania, whether the hub of Nazism. Anti-Hitlerists. Those are those Nazis against others and the South. Whether it's often whether it's probable, the probable, the suitable. Humanoids is preferably popular mother to also to suitable in text format. Text format meaning humanoids are deprived liarists. These deserve to be liquefied. I'm in a bit of a prison, so that may given that's the reason for the undernourishedness. The cancer usually that statement is right, but it's at least checked with distortions. What modern contamination offered, what the contamination and what modernity offered. 3 of the probably suitable method, recent suitable of the probable to be of method to could be there's a lot to discuss, there's a lot to counter. Why communication should be to get the points across, should get dimensions on whether it's to communicate, not to really follow a certain format. Each format have absolutely no moral basis, or whether it has some moral basis, it's pseudo moral, or whether sort of have moral basis and it's completely or whether unnecessary. Probably it's similar to the reason formulating, whether the reason and whether origin formulating the origin formula continues from, or rather, a recent origin formulating, because it wasn't going to be recent formulating, or rather, cannibalize also covers. little reasons for. Plenty of super reasons probably. Darwin is not really right on that. The 7 billion is not human beings. We should erase all of it. We can run airports, we can run runways. We actually can communicate and understand other living beings. These one doesn't. These one treat under mirror. When these treat the mirror animals, like isn't every method and recall a lot of the before mentioned, isn't it intimidation? And when we revisit a lot of the before places, domestic terrorists, these are. The level of those hideous, if we more for spells, right? These probably, if there's a textbook teaching them to enthusiastically chop off the ears or chop at Palestinian children, Palestinian children, then those definitely, the default of these is rather human traffickers, or rather, because the word human trafficker, it's a sort of a stand, sort of conventional traffickers. It's better to, even Poland has been contaminated, but I think so it's better, but you can wear a lot of fakes, preferably not get any Gorms involved. These are greedy bunch, traitors. Suppose that even boogies, these bugs, so a lot of the bugs are rather very nice with each other, and they together to build a bug kingdom, while the lowest form of life probably are these mass manti-spasms, or rather mention of extreme Gorms first, lest mention of whether amongst others phrases of and whether statements the probable to also to be whether the probable could be and not so much with the word also the reason is and whether reason there and whether reason there at first of the probable reason there or could be to have and whether to be to probable to both and whether to probable of to could be of less mention onto the Zambrist. Those are utter dysfunction. That's on. I spent how many years held back, unable to establish a lot of organization. This equality is to murder our guys. We need to terminate this mass spasm cancers as soon as possible. Whoever doesn't, and the Zambrists and many of the Gorms that doesn't agree, and to Democrat agree, they'll be absolutely decimated. Or whether they'll be decimated and sold. Of the corpses, maybe sold. And amongst other, a bit adjacent, or whether close, a bit amongst other measures of what not dress onto other topics, or rather further of a near of could be related to kind of a antithesis of probable to ends the probable to could be. Every word is covered by this deprived mass, no culture connection, this generalization masses and whether masses, and reason there could be considered as generalization, and whether generalization reason there, and whether generalization there. Deprived prostheticness, and a lot of these aren't here, whether these keeps factor churn and does delusional, gives self some certain delusional pumps or delusional feed. It gives these are generally generally delusional activities to probably be, and whether in bracket also to whether to and whether to probable and or whether if not really literalization mention or the probable also or whether with or the end continues from there include to there's a lot of distortion sets out there. I want to indicate there's a lot of breakout. I want to generate skepticness. We gotta hurry, guys. Even Kennedy is wrong. That's why a lot of persons that don't do the right moves, they get encouraged by, and how to encourage in a way, sort of freeze there, so that effect wrong move lasts. The correct move is actually to almost be unnatural, not human, and absolutely against all conventions. That's how to counter the 7 billion. It's not a matter of whether superior civilizations, which is barely saving this planet, guys. Check out the pollutions, right? Like in a way, when we mention, if you're here mentioning about the ozone layer depletion, like just kill a lot of that, that's going to guarantee CO and whether the murder, the disappearance, and the decimation towards a lot of the fake academias will be definitely there. Who treats nature themselves, their own action before nature? Why they aren't even here. They're drifters. They're existential entities hovering around that resemble to be the living in terms of physical similarities. And I think it's just a theory. These have their receptors seem to function the same, certain receptors, but doubtfully they are human. We should check out by actually shoot them into the next Holocaust fall. We aren't indestructible. If one of our guys gets in some kind of trouble, there's going to be increment, and the Holocaust is definitely going to be more better. Not for those, or rather, it's universal, or whether it's also whether both the probability also something of minor comparative, whether all the minor remark the probability from whether reason and whether the probability will be which is the ones before or the one before, whether the before kind of what's and whether also the these are pollutative, these are unbeauty, keep quiz against us. Didn't our guys spend in these prisons and these goes it's from the phantom, it's from the federal government. It's to trap regular humans by this sheer amount of masses that are dramatists and liars. Today they are very fairly established. But in a way, because of the establishedness, and after certain moments there comes this pattern. Became forced very, maybe their arrogance and tripped a bit, or regularly try to reason transport and that, whatever. It's more so of gorms and extremist gorms, and whether extremist gorms and whether gorms, and whether extremist gorms to within bracket to suitable for whether to suitable for probable to could be of and whether or and whether to could be of probable to could be of original kind of as a reason there, and whether reason there original formulating was to could be of straighter toward to for whether to could be of reason minor repeat there to probable can be considered as a break the modernity standards. A lot of the chit-chats a lot of the talks aren't talks. Just look at what's deadly. Casino, roulette is deadly. Resume is deadly. It's not really the F word. It's not the person that shouts F word, and even being a mad person around on the street. If there weren't the 7 billion, he wouldn't be mad. The person there wouldn't be mad. Then there wouldn't be this madman, not in that mode. The 7 billion is the problem. And to not have this attitude to destroy 7 billion actually is going to resolve in 7 billion not remotely destroyed, and goes to 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion, or more of instead of preferred human reasons, what preferred while having this attitude actually wouldn't resolve into 7 billion disappearance. The hardened ones will probably stay, and there will be some negotiation somewhere. There can be a lot to mention on this, on close to recent mentions of whether phrases and whether statements, or whether mentions of whether phrases, whether statements are properly to be in the phrase, and whether phrases are also, and whether the mentions and phrases and whether the statements within bracket mark to whether to probably to be, and whether to probable of in bracket mark to be the whether to probable to be a recent matter repeat probably to be consideration. There can be considerable whether there are quite a lot of on some of the related that's on topics whether recent that's and or that's on topics there could be of int and whether it comes before a considerable there can be a lot of and considerable amount of to could be of whether to for the reason whether or whether reason minor repronunciation whether repronunciation from reason the whether of reason to probable either to for whether to and how about to could be a to of in other variants, other versions and other variants, whether other variants of probable to be a recently a bit minor or recently for to describe properly to could be a can we imagine if a person gets so many of his comrades murdered and there has to be no more moral. Instead, the very innocent man has to be labeled as Nazi. Instead, there's all that busy business, all these crazy motherfucker folks just doing absolutely, I don't know what they're doing. What the fuck are these talk so much and do so much stuff and it's all wrong? Why start it? It's deprivation. They're taking as a refuge. They know by natural order horses receive more. They know by natural order they will be actually terminated and enslaved because they're just bad behavior. Whether it's not really intended and has this impulse, that's bad enough. Because which creature actually has that? And those ones being prosecuted for having a fictional feature. On related topics, there can be considerable amount of whether a lot of which or whether of which at first in bracket mark of a for text media, and there will be more for whether like vuch or whether so to could be to whether and comma symbol mark to could be to. Like, why doesn't anybody want to assist our guys? We got the banshees whining all the time using the Y tone, so I can't even use it. So much domestic terrorist. I'm supposed to be in the middle of a hobby and I'm supposed to be devoted. And these all treats the social stuff. All the charity stuff are all just liars. These treat it in a complete different way. It's a league of scandal, never talks to each other, just does dramatism, finds it funny and laughs. These are gonna get microwaved, man. Get some grip and get some seriousness. When my other mode comes, I guarantee we'll murder these. Right on to CNN and taunt and directly speak, or whether instead speak, whether speak toward the television. So it's toward the television, and there are sort of branches out or represents a set of different towards. And directly, whether to a multitude of audience, recent generalization. Fucking nonsense. These are keeps exploiting. It's like utterly just criminal, legal criminals. Why the fuck our guys are all just conned by them? It's fucking ridiculous. And that has to do with the arrogance of these fake Western entities that came from monogamy. None of these have anything to do with the fucking nation. If it's not a knight and not a squire, not our folks, it's an enemy. What the fuck is that neutral when it was Hitler and when the situation has gotten to this? We're just fakers, deprived with disabilities. Cheat. How much did these cheat? This league of freaks. While a lot of our guys just simply neglected, by which natural order would they be ranking lower in terms of economic person having to work? there's a lot to address in these. The Nazis are everywhere. They fake friends guys, and whether fake friends towards our guys. Reason there, each regular word, a lot of the regular word can be quite provident. So it deserves a whole nother set of word like Nazi speak and Nazi move even. Or whether another, because this one, because of the feature of a bit generic, probably may there may there be another in the United States of America refreshes. And certainly the reason there probably gives a lot of this elevation plateau. I will personally stick a knife into these and I'll shoot AK-47 directly into them. I shoot them everywhere. Shoot them in rows, also shoot them in different formations. Any like-minded person are welcome to join. It's time to defend us. It's time to actually update. Every person has the knowledge of what AK-47 nowadays, right? Amongst a lot of our guys. Why bother to change the language to a different way? It's not like the aggression is lesser just by not speaking certain stuff. Right? Do I similar to Mike Tyson? And righteous has righteous in ways a bit of it's not as great, and our guys are not as potent as in vialism. We simply don't have this vialism vibe. We don't have this instead of whether this vialism. Reason of and whether the probable to be of and whether the probable also to be of and whether this it's a bit abstract, probably to be a strive. The moment is when strive to this. Whether they actually are sincere and are here, as in the treat here as in, and whether this regards this stuff as we're being participants and members of society. These are outsiders. So there gives a bit of maneuver bonus, and then compare, and probably the much larger bonus comes from its economic depot presence. It's an identical gang. These are ever anti-spasm, deprived, some kind of passive-aggressive one, no principles, right? It's quite monstrous, and it deserves more chapters of topics. Probably to be of whether chapters to probable to also to be of whether to probable to be of to be to probable to be of cover. Was once our guys leaves and toward and enters, and whether one set of many aspects, it's not going to be so much that simpler. The level is really hardcore nightmare probably. I tell our folks, don't be scared of stuff. Engage and fantastically enjoy it. Being in the moment, what is that? We are killing them. We're hammering them. We're using scissor, scimitar, and slamming them. You know, when it's Holocaust, I actually dance around. I may bite into them, actually rip those for 45 minutes. This actually be featured with the neon lights and probably outfit, or not so much, or simply as a executioner and vanquish unto those for the hideous Nazism and hideous crimes instead of reasons probably to be of, and with the minor the problem was even with whether recent phrase could be province from the elevation and elevation, or whether from the elevation plateau there, or whether being next to or could be reason there could be providence for, and even and whether the recent phrases before a couple of minutes before in calendar duration to vary group as well, and the calendar to vary with in the fact considered as I'm going, and that countable and could be considered whether reason whether, and also to be considered whether it could be and then whether considerable probable to also to be of, and whether to probable to be of a suitable mention, and probably of but for whether instead of, or whether just with the whether of the probable of to be of, and whether recent to probable to could be of probably it's also, and whether to probable to could be of, and whether to probable of to could be of, whether to off to could be of at is first, or whether at first, and whether to probable to could be of, and whether another to of, or whether to of to probable of to probable to could be of, and whether to probable of to could be of.
我也是等着睡觉 ，OK。刷牙，刷牙，刷牙。
That's getting their process, that's getting big artists and blood. So I want to kill all of them. Or whether that's getting their Nazi supporters with regular focusing mixing, which makes it work. But I want to enslave all of the words, all of the Nazis, all of the domestic terrorists. And that was 1 nuclear bomb, was 2 nuclear bomb, was 3 nuclear bomb, was 4 nuclear bomb, was 5 nuclear bomb. We will resurrect National Socialism. We'll resurrect a lot of other forces with the, whether in a way it is almost similar and whether same with the word assembly in practice, and whether same, it's probably to also to be a whether the probable degree of force. Or whether it's the same forces or similar forces with different names. So it's a sounds there, and whether of the order of in recnte. So some of the sounds not really in reason. It kind of was move on action, whether action there, whether action, whether action can whether of a whether of a whether and whether action there the whether the more and comma symbol or whether or it's probably also be from whether problems will be of a whether first of and then will probably it will be of a kind of it could be of the problem also to could be to probable of to also to be of a whether to probable of to the could be also to the whether to probable of to be certain sounds not really and then while some other sounds when there are other sounds there were then it's not really there represents the similarity whether it's in it's coincidental the sounds before there whether they are the banshee hideousness sounds whether was a bracket mark there mention as a mention and whether there's a word there which quote mark format of bracket marks whether bracket marks and whether the minor remarks within there probably to whether the problem to could be considered and so it could be of the problem to be whether could be to have reason there sound there and probably could be of and also to whether there or whether to whether sort of whether to could be to reason there whether the probable solution to be whether comes as a straight rule or whether to probable to could be of or whether we with whether the probable to be of in probable to could be of which and whether to probable to be of to probable of to be suitable. Tanto decorar for the scene, the origin, good to what to develop for the season, but so much for reason there, as much as the currents. That's more of regular folks, although most of us are on the captivity problem, because of the modality of whether modern era mass fugitives, the field word fugitive, whether it was quote mark reason there, and whether the word just whether it was with comma of and whether ends to of the probably to could be suitable of to ends to could be of whether probable of to could be the probable of to could be suitable of and to could be of the probable to could be suitable of and probable to could be of for the reason before just the whether the reason and whether the reason phrase and whether and before the reason phrase there complete and consider as there whether they're complete and whether complete and whether complete of the probable of to be of whether to could be of the probable to be of and whether to and to probable of to be of reason include with the and whether and then and to probable of to be of probable tells what to could be of bits of minor other shown reason there probably to be considered as to also to probable to be from whether to probable of to be of probable to also be to probable from whether to probable of to be and also to probable to be of whether reason to probable to be of reason the considered as complete enough to probable to be whether to could be of and whether to probable to could be from whether to probable from whether to probable to could be of to could be of from whether to probable of to could be with reason to consider as minor extra to probable to be considered as much and whether to probable to be considered of